Here we go. What up, RV? Welcome in, welcome in. How's everybody doing? Ooh, my heater just kicked on. I don't know if that feels good or if it's gonna feel really warm here in a sec. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How we doing? I drank all my water. Cool, I can have a caffeinated drink instead. That was loud. Don't worry, we're not drinking on the job. It's a Dr. Pepper. 0 sugar. All right. Well, today's build, if you watched the last build, it's going to look eerily familiar because this is the same build. We actually sold 2 of these kind of consecutively, so this is another of my pre-builts that is available online. This is the AMD Gamer. It's got a Ryzen 5 8500G, RTX 5060. We've got 32 gigs of DDR5, 1 terabyte SSD. We've got the Asus B650 Plus Wi-Fi in there right now. Assassin R Digital from Thermalright, and then we've got a 650 watt power supply from ASRock. And yes, my voice still sounds nasally because somehow, after a week and a half, there's still just tons of stuff in my sinuses. I don't know why. Wish I could tell you. I wish I could get rid of it, honestly. But here we are. So, that's the build. It's all going into the same case, the SAMA 3509, which is a great, very budget-friendly case. So yeah, let's get started. Let's get started. This is gonna be a good build, nice and quick, and easy, relatively easy. Yo, what up, Mr. Rainbow? Welcome in. It's good to see you. How's your day going? Or night going? Looks expensive. I mean, every PC right now is expensive thanks to AI. This is a pretty budget-friendly build. This built and shipped through my website is like $1,300 or $1,400, so you know, not crazy expensive in terms of having a PC with, you know, new components. What up, Hub? Mulgogi, welcome in. What up, Dead Cell? Love the panda emojis. I need to make sure that Panda's going to Loot Fest this year. I want to get him to stream from my booth again. Manuel, what's up? Welcome in. It's going well. Very happy with your motherboard, the B650 Gaming. That's a solid motherboard, man. What up, Sean? I'm doing good, man. How are you? I'm just trying to get over this sickness, man. Johnny, what's up? Yeah, we're gonna have another stream booth at Loot Fest this year. Look at the auto mod just deleting stuff for me. Love that. Oh, I'm sure it's gonna ruin a lot of things in the near future. It feels like I mean, granted, I wasn't around and old enough to like know what the dot-com bubble felt like, but it sure seems like it's going to be similar to the dot-com bubble. Automatic delete this. Don't worry, it was an actual spammer, so it won't get you. All right, Ryzen 5 8500G going in. Yeah, I think the AI bubble is going to ruin a lot of things. I mean, yes, I think AI is a good thing overall. Like it's can help with a lot of stuff, but the amount of push that it's getting right now, the amount of funding it's getting, I think is going to cause some problems. Dark age for PC gamers, yeah. It's a dark age for people like me who are small system builders. It is rough out there, I will say. I believe the Loot Fest info is in his Discord. Check there. Okay, cool. I'll double check. Cause yeah, I definitely want to have him stream from the booth this year if I can. I know he tends to be pretty busy during Loot Fest, so I don't know if he'll be able to, but I want to ask at least. All right, 1 terabyte SSD. This is an NV5000 from Team Group. Gen 4. Blazing fast. The NV5001. Come on. Go around further. There we go. This is the exact same build as last time, so this is an RTX 5060. If you weren't here last time, then yeah, it's okay. It's an RTX 5060. Sorry, my voice sounds terrible right now. Still got a bunch of junk in my sinuses. I feel a lot better today. I mean, it's been a week and a half, but I just can't seem to get rid of whatever's going on up there. What up, really? How we doing? Elijah, Yaser, or Yasser, Berserker, OJ. Yeah, I'll have 2 builds. That the 2 builds that will be people will be streaming from will be for sale. I haven't decided yet if we'll bring an additional one. It might kind of come down to how much space I have in my car, in my wife's car. I don't know if I want to rent a vehicle to drive all the way down there just so I have more space or not. I need to look through the finances before I decide on that. I'm pretty confident that I can fit everything that I am planning on bringing so far, but it definitely would be nice to have more space. Still rocking your 1080 Ti? Hey, if it works, it works. What up, Sean? Loot Fest is March 6th. It takes place in Fort Worth. If you're interested in going, I have an affiliate code /link. I should probably broadcast that somehow. I've been kind of lazy on that front because I've been so busy with other stuff, like trying to find a new job. But yes, I can get you a little discount. All right, I gotta blow my nose, guys. I'm sorry. Barely made it in here at all. Barely made it into this stream. But hey, maybe that'll make the stream last longer, you know? All right, we're back. Phil, what are you doing, man? What are you doing over here? What up, Zem? It's a long-ass U-haul to make. Yeah, it's a long way. I make it every year. All right, so we've got our 32 gigs of RAM. Got our 1 terabyte, got our 8500G. Let's install this. The thermal right. Oh, sorry. This is on manual focus. I can't really do it that way. How about I do it there? No? No, you don't want to focus there either? Fine. Thermal right. Assassin Digital. That camera sucks. Even though it's really expensive. Is there a job where you build PCs? I mean, this is a business that I own, and I do make money from the business, just not enough at this point to, you know, cover all of our expenses and live, and live, really. Yeah, it's a 24-hour drive each way to get to Loot Fest for me. Yo, what up, Muma? Welcome in. Feel any better? I mean, I feel okay. It's just my freaking sinuses are just still just full of junk, and I don't know why. I've been taking like Sudafed and stuff to try and just get everything out of there, and it just keeps coming back. What would a 5070 Ti build with a 9800X 3D run roughly? I'm in the market for a new PC when taxes hit. Right now, based on RAM and SSD prices, you're probably looking in the $3,000 range. 5070 Ti's, I mean, pretty honestly, all Nvidia GPUs recently have gone up in price. The cheapest you can find a 5070 Ti is like 900-ish bucks at the moment. So, yeah, you're looking around 3,000-ish. Battled it for a month. Ugh. This is the second time, you guys. I had something just like this, although albeit much worse, at least for the first few days, like right after Christmas, and lo and behold, it's back. Do you think a PureRock 3 is enough for a 7800X 3D? PureRock 3, I'm trying to remember which one that is. Does that how many, do you know how many cooling, what's it called? Do you know how many like heat pipes that has? If it has like 6 or more heat pipes, it probably can keep a 7800X 3D cooled just fine. Maybe not with overclocking, but could you just get out of there? Thank you. Yeah, no problem, dude. I drove from Phoenix to east of Iowa City many moons ago, 28 hours due to weather and a attempted nap in Albuquerque. Yeah, I'll drive down to like Denver-ish on the first day, and get in like 12-13 hours of driving, and then I'll have like, you know, 11-ish on the second day. It's about 1,400 in change miles each way. Does Corsair SF 850 have 2 short cables? I don't know the Johnsbo Z20 by name, but I mean all the SFX power supplies are going to have shorter cables just because of like they're built for small cases, and you don't want to have super long cables. You can always like try to build it, and if they're a little bit too short, you could put a cable extension in there if you just need a little bit more length on one of the cables. What do I do like for work? Did I ever hear back from MSI? No, I haven't heard back yet. For work, I'm a mechanical engineer. It's my day job. The last couple of years, I've done stuff more like applications engineering rather than design. So like working with like OEM customers to integrate. I worked for a high voltage battery company, so I was integrating our batteries into their vehicles. So whether it be like hardware, software, low voltage, high voltage questions, I was the guy to answer all of that. I drove from DFW to Central Illinois in December 2024, straight through each direction. several days for in and out in between. Yeah, I can't do that much driving in one day. Plus, like, I needed to show up to the event, like, not dead and exhausted, right? So I definitely needed some sleep in between those drives. Oh, it's an MATX case though. Oh, interesting. Why not get a smaller case if you're going to go ITX? Or are you using an MATX board in there too and you just need a SFX power supply? All right. It's actually a pretty decent layer there. Okay. Call that good. Got our thermal grease on there. Stuff, according to a good buddy of mine that's been doing this for 30 years, he has systems that have been running with this thermal paste on there for like 5 years, and it still works perfectly fine. Chip Kelly with the follow. I hope that's the real Chip Kelly. It's probably not. If it's the real Chip Kelly, I won't say where I went to college. Do I do water cooling? Yes. Yes. My build actually is water cooled. Like custom liquid cooling. Not in a zombified state. Yeah, exactly. I can't afford to do that. Ended up picking a mini ITX motherboard because it was a good deal. And I actually don't need more than that. Gotcha. Found MATX more expensive. Really, because usually I feel like MATX stuff is cheaper than ITX just because there's more options, but that's cool. What up, Pro Music? I'm a noob. I never build a PC, so I don't want to deal with ultra hardcore tight space. Yeah. Building a PC that's in a really small form factor is a lot harder than building one like the one I'm building today. Okay. I've only ever done redone thermal paste when replacing the CPU or cooler into the same board. Dang. Probably use good stuff though, yeah. I mean, after a while you can't, no matter what, it's gonna dry out, right? It's just physics, but. Is a GTX 1050 Ti still good for gaming? Not really. I mean, it'll play some games. Probably at 1080p, like absolutely minimum settings, depending on what you're playing, but it's not really a great card for modern games. Yeah, that makes sense, Hatfield. And that's kind of the beauty of this stuff is it's really good stuff, has good cooling capabilities, and it lasts a long time, which is why we use it. Also, it was like 20 bucks for that tub, and I've been using that tub for the past like 8 months. Still haven't run out. to lay flat. There we go. 3090 Ti. What time does what open? What up, the beard? It doesn't show me your full name, unfortunately. It says the beard of, I'm gonna guess knowledge. The beard of knowledge. I don't know why TikTok cuts off part of the name. There's nothing I can do about it. Wrong chat, okay. All right, got all that in there. Let's get our case. All right. Pull that panel off. What up, Nicole? How do you keep yourself static free? I mean, you don't. You're always gonna build up a little bit of a little bit of static. Part of it is my gloves. So any static I build up in my body doesn't really make it through the barrier of my gloves. I'm also wearing rubber-soled shoes. And static is not super dangerous for modern computer components, so you don't have to worry about it so much. Yep, we just finished the motherboard. What up, Manu? The case is a Sama 3509. If you look in the description of the video, there's an affiliate link there if you're interested in getting one. My gloves, they're nitrile. Nothing special. They're like heavy duty nitrile, so they don't get cut open on me all the time. I've used thinner ones in the past and they tend to get rips in them pretty easily, so I switched to some heavier material. Oh, wait, before I put that in, let's plug in this CPU cooler fan. Okay. You haven't built a desktop since 2014. Things have changed a bit since 2014. So with 4 heat pipes and 190 watt TDP without OC and just for gaming, it should be fine. Only 4 heat pipes? It might do okay if you have good case airflow. You're under 13 to build your own PC. It costs around $500. But since the prices are high, it's like $1,300. Oof. Well, congrats on building your first PC. And yeah, prices do suck right now. Also, I almost forgot. This doesn't come with all of the standoffs built in. So we gotta put those in there. Is overclocking still cool, or is that old school? I mean, you can still get benefits from overclocking, especially on the CPU. I found that GPU overclocking tends to cause more stability problems with games than it helps. But if you do something like just like undervolting your GPU more so than like overclocking it, that can help it run a little bit quieter and cooler. Got your DDR5 2 days before the prices hit. 65 pounds or 65 euros for 32 gigs. Yes, that's sick. I think that's euros. Even with gloves, I run a PSU connected to power but switched off for touching parts. I got stupid bad luck on stuff like that. I've never had any problems from static, so. Fingers crossed. All right. Okay. Let's all look lined up. Yeah, RAM tuning is also another one that you can get some good benefit out of. Although RAM tuning, I feel like, takes a lot more time and knowledge to do than CPU or GPU work. Going to be in the process soon of moving my stream room from a small bedroom to a 2-door garage. Oh, heck yeah. You're going to love that. I just went the opposite way recently. Yo, thank you for those follows, Sam, Jackie, Manu. Or is it Jekyll, not Jackie? Euro. I felt so lucky. I really hurried through the putting it together phase, though I made a mistake on the motherboard. What kind of mistake? Like something that's fixable, or like you selected the wrong thing, like you bought the wrong thing? Oh, you bought a B840 instead of B650? Yeah, it'll still be fine. Then you got to change the cooling on the RAM too? No, you don't have to change the heat spreaders on the RAM. If you do crazy overclocking, especially on DDR5, you might need to add like they make cooler things for RAMs, or for RAM sticks that like has fans to blow air directly on it. Or if you have a super high-end build, you can actually add a water block to your RAM, which is pretty cool. What up to Conquer? How we doing, Vince? I remember asking you about it shortly after I bought. I couldn't change anymore, but all considered, I was lucky. Hey, if it works, right? Can't wait to see the unboxing of the GPU, the RTX 5060. Why do I wear gloves? Partly for anti-static purposes, and also it keeps, you know, like dirt and oils from my hands from getting onto any of the components. Set it to defaults. Nice. I gotta blow my nose again, you guys. Sorry. I'm gonna finish getting these bolts in here. Okay. I gotta blow my nose. I have to. I mean, at some point my sinuses have to run out, right? Like, they have to run out of stuff to make, right? It's crazy. No. One of these is the right bolt. There it is. Yo, what up, Tim? Times have changed. You ever use liquid cooling? I do. Occasionally, but am I still sick? I mean, I don't really feel sick. It's just, there's just junk in my sinuses. I do liquid cooling occasionally, but like the price tag for liquid cooling, both in labor and in like the components that you need to buy for liquid cooling, is not worth it for like 99% of people. Can't wait to have it back. 7800X 3D 5070 Ti 32 gigs DDR5 cell base 802, all around 2,000 pounds. That's not bad at all. What up, Shamik? I'm sure I didn't say that right. It's my first upgrade since 2018. Still have an 8500 1070. Yeah, that definitely is not built for modern 1440p gaming, is it? Been a little over a year, and they're both still top notch. That's right. So we build them right here. Yeah, that is a big upgrade, isn't it, Manu? Looking to get a couple of custom PCs this year. One will be a gift and one will be for you. Heck yeah. Man. I'm sorry, I sound terrible, you guys. Also, one of my ears feels like it's full. So that's fun. -2. My PC is still running so good thanks to Red. Yeah, how long did we build years ago? Like 3 years now. Looking for better airflow for my nose. Which fans do you recommend? How many? I'd say you go push-pull on the nostrils. You know, you can't go wrong with Noctua. I think you should have that fixed now, Rytech. You should get solid airflow from the built-in airways, right? At least that's what you were promised. All right, let's get this stuff plugged in. How much is the crazy alien case that opens and closes with temperature? I'm not sure which one you're referring to be honest. Are you talking about that one that like it's together and then like it fully like splits open like that? That was like a limited edition one from Silverstone, I think. And if I remember right, after talking to the meta guys, it's like $7,000 for that case. Three years still going strong. Let's go. Virus going around schools and public spaces. Fun. I know my daughter has been coughing all over everything for weeks. And surprise, I got whatever it was. Here, I'll turn this so you guys can see it. I'm just doing the front panel connections here. Can you have it? You can buy one just like it if you want. That's an option. Okay, get our power switch in there now. Okay. All right. That's all in there. Now we got to deal with all this junk. The literal goat PC build, it's right. What up, Red? Hello, Red, from another Red. I wonder if one can make one cheaper than that. $7,000 for a case is wild. I know, right? That is pretty wild. I'm sure someone could, but no matter what, it's going to cost a lot. Because you got motors and stuff and sensors and all sorts of crazy stuff in there. What up, TD? How we doing? Thank you guys for all those likes on TikTok. Appreciate that. How long does it take for 2 PCs to be built? So if you're talking like just like straight up build time, like the physical build time, on average a PC build is like 1 to 2 hours. It kind of depends on the specs and the components that we use. But yeah, and then for like time to order until it's ready to ship out is anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks for most builds. If it's something that's like super custom, like you have to do custom paint or laser engraving or something like that, it'll take, you know, an extra week typically. I like that it shows all camera angles so clean. Isn't that nice? We can go, we got rear, we got top, we got front. I think I probably need to update games since I haven't been on my PC in 3 weeks. Yeah, you're definitely gonna have some game updates, unfortunately. Very fancy. Wouldn't that thing constantly open and close with temperature fluctuations? I'm sure it has some sort of like hysteresis built in. Like you could put like a 5 or 10 degree like hysteresis into it, so that it doesn't just constantly open and close. Joys of winter trade show season. That's fair. Yeah, I did go to CES, and I did get sick shortly thereafter. I mean, I guess it was like a week or two. Also, since Rytek's in the chat, use code Rytek when you buy a PC. It'll save you 5%. My 7800X 3D with that cheap 250 watt TDP kept jumping between 75 and 60, kept making the fans go crazy. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, you can set, like, you could use software to, you know, fix that, so it's not so unstable. I feel like they could have put this hub in a better spot. Once I get the room done, I think I will be slowly building me a new PC. Right now, the one I built a few years ago still has some life left in it. Yeah, they last a little while. I mean, mine I built in 2022 when like AM5 first came out. Yeah, I'm still rocking it. I've made a couple of upgrades, but nothing major. Case had a resonance thing and kept humming, so you had to switch to the quiet case. The Charcoon case sucked. Yeah, you get what you pay for sometimes. Yeah, so I'm rocking, I rock a 4070 Ti Super and a 9600X right now. I know the 9850X 3D drops tomorrow, so I'm probably gonna upgrade my system to that. And then at some point down the road, we'll do the old GPU upgrade too, but that's water cooled, so it takes a lot more effort to do. I don't really want to do it. Rytek, thank you so much for the gift, dude. Does it get flipped around somehow? Or is it just broken? I think it's just broken. The Be Quiet 500DX, that's a great case. That used to be the case I used in my signature builds back when I only had like one pre-built option. Oh yeah, I guess that isn't very cheap. I built yours in 2021, added some more RAM, second SSD, upgraded the power supply is all you've changed, and it's still rocking. Love to hear that. Love it. Isn't that cool how long a good PC can last if you just build it right? Just put good components in it. New monitor and does 240 FPS in most games? Hell yeah. 2021, so that's probably a 30 series, yeah? Or maybe an AMD 7000. Which is better on a GPU, one from Asus ROG or Gigabyte? I mean, they're basically the same exact thing. You're likely not going to notice any sort of difference. ROG might be slightly better quality, but yeah, in general, they're basically going to be exactly the same. So there's not much point, unless you really like the looks of one versus the other, of spending extra for one brand versus the other. Okay, got that a little bit managed. Let's get our power supply. You have a 9800 X3D paired with a 5070 and 850 watt Gold Plus. Do I have room for a 5070 Ti? Yes, you do. The 850 is perfectly acceptable for a 5070 Ti. Rocking the 3060 Ti, nice. 14900 KS or 9800 X3D for a full gaming streaming. It kind of depends on how much stuff you run. Like while you're streaming, like are you like running Discord, music, you know, any other background apps like Botrix or something? Having the extra cores can be super nice. So it's kind of a tough choice. The 9800 X3D in pure gaming will definitely do better, but you know, if you're running a lot of extra stuff on your PC, it could be nice to have those extra cores from the 14900. But personally, I would, instead of the 14900K, unless you're doing it to get DDR4 or something, I would get the Intel Core Ultra series. That way you don't have to worry about the voltage issues that plagued the 14th and 13th gen Intel CPUs. Gonna go get your ROG 5080 on Monday? Heck yeah. Do you think the Silent Base 802 from Be Quiet is a better choice? I don't know that model specifically, to be honest. 7800 X30, 9060 XT. If you get the 16 gigabyte, I think that's a good spot. Is it technically a bottleneck? Sure. Like the CPU can work really well with higher end GPUs, but it's still a solid combo. Especially if you get the 16 gig version of the 9060 XT. CPU is probably the most dated part of yours, yeah. motherboard, SATA, PCIe, CPU. Here we go. You have the 47 Ti Super with the 7800X 3D? Nice. Yeah, I'm probably going to be running the 9850X 3D with the 47 Ti Super here pretty soon. At least for a little while. I hate split CPU power cables that don't like click together or anything. There we go. Just need to be able to see better. All right. Do you recommend user benchmark to gather info? Yeah, user benchmark isn't bad. Personally, I would like maybe look up some YouTube videos to of people showing them like testing while gaming and stuff. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the key thing is just like trying to think about how much stuff you're going to have going on in the background besides the game. And that would kind of decide whether you need more than the 8 cores that the 9800X 3D provides, or if you can make do with that. Case is rad. Thank you. You should use the RX 480. No. How much I would love to have a PC from my old Dell laptop to be able to edit videos. For this build, you can find it on my website. There's a link to it on my website right now in the video description. You can check it out. As a 1080p user, I mean, it is a bottleneck in the sense that like the 13600K could get you a lot more FPS if you had a better GPU. But for 1080p, like the 3060 is still, you know, it's a solid card. Best GPU of all time. It's not anymore. It's a severely outdated GPU now. GPUs and components in general don't age like fine wine. They just become less and less capable over time. Any cheap upgrades you can recommend for Ryzen 5 3600 and a 6600? You could get the Ryzen 5 5600 XT. That one's like $150. You wouldn't need to change out your cooler or power supply or anything like that. That can boost your FPS a little bit. For the GPU, maybe like a 9060. Your GPU costs more than a Asus 5060. I mean, most of them do. All right. Let's get our motherboard power in here. Okay. Got that in there. We can route these cables to the back now. I gotta say, you're probably the most calmest live YouTuber on YouTube. I can sit and relax. Well, it's not true about when I'm gaming, but building PCs is very relaxing. This is like doing meditation for me. Hey, Rapid, thank you so much for the follow. I got my GPU brand new and it was 150 bucks, and now the GPU is 550 brand new. It's called the Fizzy 70 XT. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird how that happens, right? Like older models, like when they are discontinued and not being produced, for some reason, sellers think that they could just like charge more and convince people to buy them. And I'm sure some people get suckered into that, but it's like, why would you ever buy a 5700 XT for that much when you could buy something that's 2 generations newer or 3 generations newer that's way better for like $100 less? I don't know. Man, I'm dying. Okay, got our SATA power for the hub in there. A little building PCs that every year I take my PC I have now and just take it apart and put it back together. Gives it better performance after that, just because it's, yeah, nice and clean, fresh thermal paste, all that good stuff. That can happen. That can definitely happen. Got 5600X, 32 gigs DDR5, 650 watt power supply, B550 Pro from the motherboard. Got it all before the high prices. Nice. All right, I'm gonna blow my nose one last time, you guys. All right. Whew. Ugh. So much stuff in my nasal cavities. Cavity. Is it a single thing? Cavities? I don't know. All right. There's our power supply installed. You can see the 5060? Yeah, you can. Believe it or not, this is my like third shortage that I've lived through as a PC builder since I started in 2021. First it was the 30 series, maybe fourth. First it was the 30 series and into the 40 series shortages. And then there was the 50 series shortage. And then there was now the SSD RAM shortage. You guys believe there's been that many shortages in like 5 years? I'm doing good, Malik. How are you? How do you handle OS installations for my builds? I have this handy dandy drive that has Windows 11 on it. I install it. You can use it for every single PC. It just has a Windows 11 installation media built in, or well, installed on it, and then yeah, just install Windows. And then you just get your product key. You don't have to have a product key when you install it. Yeah, it's really easy. Yo, what up, Wes? All right, Dominus, good to see you. Have a good night. Memory hijack. Hijack, not a storage, not a shortage. I mean, that's fair. That's, yeah, you're not wrong there. I'm actually going to steal this guy. Because that's going to be a zip tie. Is it done? Not quite. We're getting close, though. Just a little bit more cable management. Got to throw our GPU in there. And then it'll be done. Do they then purchase a Windows key? No. I do that. It comes with Windows installed and activated. And I don't do what Sense Quality did, and they use some sort of like server thing where they were using like server activation for Windows keys. This is super sketchy, you guys, and this is why I will never work with Kerneal or any business that he ever makes. They use some sort of like Windows server to activate their Windows, and then it's not a permanent activation on the system. So like something lapsed in their system or whatever, or they had too many PCs on it, and people started like they would turn on their computers, and all of a sudden their Windows wasn't like activated anymore. It's crazy. Yes, exactly. So you just plug the USB into the motherboard, you install Windows from it, take it out, and then Windows is installed on your SSD, and you can just reuse the USB drive. Spent over $1,400 at Micro Center, upgraded my motherboard, CPU, and RAM. Hell yeah. 1 terabyte ECC RAM for my build is $19,000. Ooh, that's crazy. That's crazy. 9800X 3D, 64 gigs of RAM. That's a solid upgrade. All right. It's time. It is time. It's GPU time. And the X870E-E gaming. Nice. Got our RTX 5060 here. This is the exact same one we used in the last build. The 3-fan gaming OC from Gigabyte. My trash can's getting full. Okay. Spirit Rider, if you type in ! specs, it'll tell you everything in the system. If you're asking me. If you're asking RTX 4080 Mem, then he can tell you. This is a customer build. Anytime you see me building live on stream, it is a customer build. What up, Sody Pop? How we doing? Oh, sorry, it doesn't work on TikTok. Botrix doesn't work there. I'll just tell you. So we've got a Ryzen 5 8500G. We've got an Asus B650 Plus gaming Wi-Fi motherboard, 32 gigs of Patriot Viper CL32-6400 RAM, the Thermalright Assassin R digital CPU cooler. Got a 650 watt power supply, 80 plus gold from ASRock, a 1 terabyte NVMe from Team Group, the NV5000. And then we've got the SAMA 3509 case. And then lastly, the Gigabyte Gaming OC RTX 5060. There you go. What up, Darwin? How we doing? Gotta take the plastic off the fan hubs. Just build your first monster PC. Let's go. How'd it go? Total cost on this one. You can check the link. I think with shipping in the US, it's just over $1,400. Oh yeah, I need to take this guy off too. Yeah, I'm live. That's why I'm talking to you guys. 64 gigs of CL36000 for $330 last year, and now it's $1,300. I know, isn't it crazy? You had to buy a new motherboard? Oh no. Did it not work, or did you mess something up? No judgment either way. Things happen. Let's check that. Oh, why did that auto mod your thing? Spirit Rider, I don't know why that auto modded your comment, but sorry. At least the specs command worked. Paid $599 for 64 gigs of RAM because I did the AMD bundle. Original price would have been over $1,000. It's crazy. dust covers back on. Okay, we can put this guy back on. See, this case natively supports a vertical mounting for a 2-slot card. It's pretty cool. Oh, did that not actually make it in there? It didn't. I thought I did. Get in this slot. There we go. Now we're in there. I remember last year buying, when I was so happy buying kits of DDR5, like good kits of DDR5, 32 gigs for $95. Ugh. I bought a bunch extra when prices first started going up, before they went like really crazy. So I had $100 kits of RAM that I was using in customers' builds for like a month, until like prices got up to like $300. It was crazy. What up, Space Face? How we doing? Super happy I picked up a bunch of RAM when it was cheap, right? Can't really justify adding RAM to my workstation at these prices. No, you can't. You just can't justify it right now. Yeah, I did the same thing. I bought I actually accidentally bought a 64 gig kit of DDR5 for a customer like last summer and realized it before, like a few days before I was going to build. So I ordered him a 32 gig kit and put it in his build because that's what he had ordered. And then I was like, well, I was planning on upgrading mine to DDR5 at some point. And so I finally did make that upgrade in like September or October. And I was really glad that I kept that RAM because, yeah, it would have been so expensive. Selling your old PC parts, now's a good time to do it, man. All right, what do we think of the cable management there? How does that look? Here, we'll flip it to the front. A little bit better quality of camera there. How do we feel about that? We cool with that? We happy with that? Looks clean. Love that. Thank you. Oh, sorry, Space. You can't use... You either have to say like my whole name or just say red. Otherwise, AutoMod, for whatever reason, thinks it's hateful. Not too bad on the cable management. Thank you. You have a ton of DDR3 stuff. Never know when you want to build a dumpster fire NAS. Yeah, that's fair. All right. Hold on. There we go. This PC's done. It's ready to go. Well, not ready to like ship out, but it's ready for me to start putting software and stuff on it. So who's ready to see this baby fire up for the first time? Who's ready for it? Bought 64 gigs, yeah. Looks good. You should build PCs as a job. Appreciate that vote of confidence, Mr. Rainbow. I would love for this to be my full-time job. 8500G with a GPU. Interesting. Stream. This is really only for gaming. If you want to game and stream at the same time, I would suggest having something with more cores than this. Only having 6 cores is not really ideal for gaming and streaming at the same time. All right, you guys want to see this baby fire up? Come on, I know you do. I know you do. Don't lie to me. Drop an emoji if you want to see this baby get fired up. $5,800 extra B550, 32 gigs of RAM. Love that. All right, I see a few emojis in there. I see a few. All right, so quick reminder, what's in here? Just the basics. 8500G, 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of storage, RTX 5060. First ever power on. I mean, tell me that doesn't just look clean. That's a clean budget build, you guys. Don't hate on this cable. There's nothing I can do about that. Yes, G variant has integrated graphics. Well, now, since the 7000 series, all AMD CPUs, unless they have an F on them, have integrated graphics. The G series just has a more powerful integrated graphics. Build cost, it's around $1,400 to $1,500. But that cost is going to be going up here pretty soon because of RAM. Because of RAM and SSD prices, actually. But I think what I'm going to be doing, I haven't like officially announced it yet, but since you guys are in here, you're part of the community. I'm probably going to be taking down all my pre-builds from the website, and we'll start doing ready-to-ship builds. So we'll have a handful of ready-to-ship builds, and then we'll have custom builds. So custom builds is like 90% of what I've done over the years. Like most people want something custom tailored to them, whether it be price or looks or whatever. But for the people who want something quickly, even the pre-built stuff that I have that's pre-built is not like ready to ship pre-built. So this will be a nice compromise, one for the people who want something quickly, but also for me to be able to make sure that like I can actually make money on parts, because RAM, SSD prices, even GPU prices right now are so volatile that it's impossible to keep up. Like I would be changing the price on my my website like almost daily to ensure that like my profit margin stays roughly the same. So we are oh, hold on, the RAM is not fully seated. No. So that's what we're going to be doing here in the near future, because I want to make sure that I'm able to stay in business, support customers, and I think it's a cool way to like do some fun, unique builds and let people be able to just like snag them up and get them within a week, you know. My website is redneckengineer.com. It is in the description of the video somewhere. I don't think I uploaded my most recent build. She's a beauty. Keep an eye on her in your Discord. All right, bet. Would you build a PC for $900? I could, but it probably wouldn't have much of a GPU in there. Unless you were like willing to waive any sort of warranty and we looked for like used parts. Asking $500 on Facebook Marketplace for a 5800X 3D MSI MPG B550 and 32 gigs of RAM. Yeah, you might be able to get that. Those 5800X 3Ds are really hard to find right now. Oh, did my internet kick out? I think my internet kind of poopied on me for a second there. All right. Well, luckily the internet held out until now, because I don't know what that was. I just saw that YouTube told me the internet wasn't getting enough, wasn't pushing enough bitrate for my stream. But yes, you can change the case. So this case you can either do like you can just like change them manually with the button using this little that little hub that's back there, or you can hold it down and now it's being controlled by the motherboard. So now the motherboard will control the fans in the front, the exhaust fan in the back, and the one on the CPU cooler. So you can set those all up to be the exact same color. And then Thermalright has software to control the little screen on the cooler as well. Best budget desktop AMD processor. Probably the Ryzen 5 5500. I mean, those are like 80 bucks. And then you're on AM4, so you can get a pretty cheap motherboard. You can get cheaper RAM because it's DDR4. All right, well, we made it. Did it in an hour 17. And yeah, the thing looks pretty good. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of the stream today. I need to hurry up and finish up because it's my daughter's birthday and they're gonna be home soon, so we can go have some fun. Got your PC parts mostly with the case and PSU, which is good. I just need a motherboard, a RAM, and a CPU, trying to save money for it. Nice. You can sync via Signal RGB, or in this system, you could use Armory Crate, which is ASUS's built-in stuff for their motherboards. Yeah, there's a little screen. It's not like a fancy screen that you can put images and stuff on, but it'll read out like CPU temp, GPU temp, CPU load, GPU load. And you can have it kind of switch back and forth and adjust the colors on it and stuff. Uploading now. All right, I'll take a good look at it. Happy B-Day. Yeah, I'll tell her happy birthday. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out. Yeah, and keeping it fun, making sure there's always something to talk about while I'm building, because yeah, when it gets quiet, I get bored. So appreciate y'all. We will see you on the next one. We do have another build lined up. We can probably maybe even build it Friday afternoon, but it might end up being on Monday. But yeah, so stay tuned. Make sure you're following and subscribed and all the things so that you can catch the next one, all right? Have a great night, everybody. Good to see you. Me and Dean, Manu, RTX 4080, Spirit Rider, G-Dog, Mr. Rainbow if you're still in here, Space Face. Appreciate everybody. We will see you all on the next one. Anwar, thank you for the follow. Okay, bye. Bye.